It's a little bit odd. I don't know what's going on with my system. Yeah, the mic is on. Ethan is saying, hi, have you ever tried adding a Meros mini US smart plug to Home Assistant? No, I haven't either. Ethan, I'd love to, but I haven't actually seen that one. Yep, have to reach out to them and give it a try. Have you had any issues with that? Yeah, the mic is on. Can you hear anything yet? Sorry, guys, this is really frustrating. Is there any sound yet? Because I've got my audio, it should be all set up. Audio's now. Fantastic, David. Thanks a lot for the feedback. Yeah, not sure what was going on. That is a bit of a pain. And today's topic is 2025.2. So let's just put that in. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome, everyone. We've got David on the stream here. Welcome, David. Let us know where you're from. We've got Ethan here on the stream. He's talking about a Meros Mini US Smart Plug, adding it to Home Assistant. Not sure if any of you guys have tried one of those. Meros, let's just have a quick look at Meros Smart Plug. Let's have a look, see. Okay, so I have tried one or two Meros items, and they seem to work really well with Home Assistant. I've got a Meros, I can't actually remember what it was now, but I certainly have tried one or two Meros things. So fantastic, David. Thank you for the feedback. That is great. Okay, now guys, what we're going to be talking about today is having a look at the latest Home Assistant Beta Update 2025.2. So we're going to have a look through it together, see what we think. Obviously today, one of the features that they've been focusing on is backups. So last month they launched the backups, and now they are basically now updating the backups or changing them and adding some extra features. So let's have a look at that and see what we can find out about what they're up to. So in the previous release, they revamped the whole backup system, which is now allowing us automatic backups to basically let Home Assistant do the backup. Previously, I was using the Google backup system. That was working really well, but obviously this is now within Home Assistant, so that's great. Now, one of the things that there was a bit of a pushback from the community was around the unencrypted backups. So, or encrypted backups. So basically, Home Assistant was automatically encrypting all of the backups to the wherever they went, and basically you didn't have a choice. So what they've done now is they've allowed you to actually go in and turn them off for specific locations. So if we have a look at that on my Home Assistant, if we go in here, systems, system, there we go, and we go to backups over there, and we go down into our settings and history. You'll see now that you've got your locations here, and you can actually click on this little wheel over here, and we can actually turn off that encryption. So we'll turn off the encryption for that. There we go. It's warning you now that the backups are unencrypted, but now we can do it. Now with Home Assistant Cloud, we can't do that. With Home Assistant Cloud, all of the backups are going to be encrypted. Now, one other thing that they have, let us know your feedback, please, about what you think about the backups or the new backup system. It'd be great to hear what your thoughts are about that. All right, so that was the encryption. Next up, we've got the downloading of backups. So basically, even though they are encrypting all of the backups, when you download those backups through Home Assistant, it will automatically decrypt them for you. So that's pretty cool. All right, so moving on, customizing the time of the backups. So with the backup system originally, they set it to 4:45 a.m. So every morning, 4:45 a.m. on the days that you'd selected, it would automatically go. Now, some people were saying that they wanted to actually be able to customize the timing of the backups. So that's what they've gone in and done. They've now gone in, allowed you. So if we go into our backups here, we can now select whatever time we want. So we could change it to 7 p.m. or whatever. We can select which days, either never, daily, or custom days. We can also go into the time, so we can go custom or we can go with their default. And then we can select how many backups. It seems like 3 is the maximum that it's allowing you. So yeah, lots of changes to the backup system. All right, taking backups on an advanced schedule. So they've actually gone to the next level now, and they're actually allowing you to do a automated backup system from within Home Assistant automations. So you can go along and you can trigger this action backup.automated_backup, and it will actually go in there and it will trigger that backup automatically. Yeah, so let us know what you think of that. It'd be great to know. Okay, so reintroduction of the backup toggle. Now, originally when you did a Home Assistant update, it would come up with a little toggle at the bottom there saying, do you want to do a backup first? Which was really great because it allowed you to push that backup or to automatically remember to do a backup. And if something fails, like especially when you're doing a beta version like me, you can press that little slider and then it will automatically do a backup. So they've brought that back in, which I think is another good idea. Backup on updating add-ons. So when updating the add-ons, things are slightly different. The toggle exists here and is disabled by default. When you enable it, only a backup of that add-on is created. Then you can keep all previous versions of the add-on. You can always roll back if required. Okay, so yeah, basically when you're going into your backups, you can select, for example, if you go to custom with add-ons, you can actually select which one of these it's automatically going to back up, and it's going to give you that little toggle which will be automatically defaulted to off, but you can add it and basically go in and select what you want to do with your add-ons. So yeah, that's another good idea. James is saying this automatic backup has saved my bacon more than once in the past few days. Oh, that's fantastic to hear, James. Yeah, you never know when you're going to need a backup. For example, the other day I had a problem where basically it wasn't a core backup, it was a system or a system update. And I was running on a Odroid machine. Something happened and it just totally just went dead. It did the update and it never came online again, and I literally have not been able to get it back. Now, it came at a time when I was actually thinking of restarting my Home Assistant from scratch anyway, so I just took the opportunity to restart it and just give it up and lose that old backup, which I was quite happy because I'm always adding new devices to my Home Assistant. It was a good thing just to get rid of everything anyway. So yeah, I'm in a fresh install now. So yeah, worked well, but that's great to hear, James. All right. Next up, they've got improved file names for backups. So there's been a lot of feedback saying that the backups are a little bit cryptic and hard to understand for humans. So what they've done now is they've gone and improved the file names of the backups stored in locations. I'm not sure if we can see the file names. Let's just go back here to backups. Here are our automatic backups. Let's just go into one of those backups. All right, so did it have the name there? Automatic, yeah. So this, I'm assuming, is the name now, automatic backup over here. Is that right? Let's just download that as a file and see what the name is. Yeah, automatic backup 2025. So yeah, they've given it a new name, which is pretty cool. At least now you can understand what's going on, or you can find those names easily. And when you're restoring, you see here, you've got these checkboxes that you can select what you actually want to restore at the time, which is another improvement. All right. So David says, let's just see what David says. Personally, I'm using HA as a Proxmox virtual machine. I'm backing up completely virtual machine. Oh my goodness, guys. I must apologize. I don't know what is going on today. I'm having an absolute failure of technology. I should be back on now. I think I've got sound again. Apologies for that. My whole computer just crashed in the middle of the live stream. Just unbelievable. One of those days, it's just a shocker. So, hopefully, everyone can see me again now. Do let me know if you can see me. That would be really good. I am back online now, just checking to see whether you guys can see me. Oh, nope, just audio. Okay, let's see if we can get the camera back on. Virtual camera should be back up. Oh, fantastic, James. I do apologize. My whole machine just went blue stream of death for some reason or other. So, not sure why that was. And now my camera's not even showing. Oh, my goodness. There we go. All back and up. Okay, guys, let's get back into this. All right. So, we talked about the improved file names. So, yep, I think that's a great idea. Now, another thing that they're doing, let me just grab a sip of water here, is that they're offering new locations. So that's pretty cool. So from within the Home Assistant backup system now, you've got these new locations. So you can select Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever you want as your location. Personally, I'm using Nebuchadnezzar. I pay for Nebuchadnezzar every month. I find it well worth it. And yep, so that's what I'm using. And it works really, really great for me. Fantastic. Let's just check. We got any more message? No, not at the moment. Okay, let's get back into it. All right. So let us see what else we've got. Okay. New locations, we've discussed. Voice. Okay. So I recently got the Home Assistant Voice Preview Edition. Very, very impressed with this little guy. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I like the build quality. I think is pretty cool. It's not a 3D printed case. It's a proper injected molded case. And yeah, I've basically bought all the hardware that Home Assistant has released, or not released, but that they've been promoting, and I've had a lot of fun with it. All right, so James is saying that he is backing up to his Synology NAS. Fantastic, James. Well, that's next level. I mean, if you've got a Synology system and you're doing backups, yeah, you're right on top of it. And I'm assuming that that would be pretty well bulletproof. Yeah. I'm reliant on Home Assistant backups, so let's see how they go. I must actually try a new. Oh, welcome, Neutral. Great to see you again. We need to coordinate your live stream schedules better. I'm in the sauna right now and watching in between Steam sessions. Oh, my goodness. You need to get yourself a waterproof display in your sauna so that you can watch the live streams while you're in the sauna. I know it is a little bit early this morning for me for the live stream, but I woke up early and I just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys and run through the latest updates to Home Assistant. So, yeah, great to have you in between your sauna sessions. I'm sure it's needed for you. You're in winter at the moment, so it must be awesome. Oh, James is waiting for his. Can't wait. Yeah. No, honestly, guys, if you're wanting to buy a piece of hardware this year, I would say that this little guy is well worth the effort. And it's quite cool to see the Grove port on the back here. Don't know if you guys have ever seen the Grove sensors, but there's some pretty cool sensors available from Grove that you can actually add in there. Let me just show you quickly. Grove sensors. Let's just go in. So if you see here, you'll see that there's a whole ecosystem. If we scroll down here, you'll see that there's all of these different sensors. And the cool thing with these Grove sensors is that they have these little plugs, you see. So you don't have to go and do any soldering or any difficult wiring. You can just buy these Grove. Here's a beginner kit, all sorts of different sensors. So you can see there we've got a distance sensor, we've got a plant sensor. So all of these can basically plug in the back here. You just break off this little tab here. Then you've got access to the tiny little Grove slot inside there. And you can go along and, yep, you can update and add any sensors you want. So, yeah, happy to hear. I'll be really interested to hear from you guys who have got this, what you think of it. It's a little bit different to what I expected, the movement of the rolling or the scrolling thing. When a lot of people talked about it being like the Apple, where you slide your finger. This one actually moves, but it's got a really nice clicky feeling to it. Yeah, so really great little device, I must admit. I'm super happy to mine. James is saying San Diego, early for me too, but worth it. Oh, fantastic. So good to have you with me, James. I know it's an early one, but yeah, that's just how it goes. Sometimes you wake up and I've got a few things on later, but I haven't been live streaming it for a while, so I thought it'd be well worth testing the waters and seeing who's out there. Okay. So it looks like they're doing some updates to voice as well in this demo, which is pretty cool. I think the fact that they've released the voice hardware now means that a lot of more people are getting into voice because it's easy. You don't have to fiddle around. Personally, when I tried the S3 Box 3, it took me hours and hours and hours to get it running. So this one is just so easy. I've done a whole video showing how easy it is to get it running. Now, let us go back and have a look what they're doing with voice. Okay, Home Assistant will be able to call your analog telephone to tell you a message. So I don't know if you watched quite a long time back in the Home Assistant, they actually showed where you could use the old PBX telephones and communicate with your voice assistant. Pretty cool. I never actually got it working because I don't have one of those systems. But basically, if you're using LLM as the brains for your voice assistant, you can take this one step further now, and you can actually go along with the assist_satellite.start conversation. Instead of playing an announcement, it starts a conversation between Home Assistant and the user. Home Assistant saying the message, left the garage door open for 30 minutes, no problem. Let Home Assistant call the user and ask if they want to close it. So yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. I don't have one of those phones to test it out, but yeah, great to see that there's some updates and changes to that whole system. All right, let's go and see what else we've got here. Okay, new broadcast intent. You can now broadcast messages to every other voice assistant in your home. Try it by saying, broadcast, it's time for dinner. As always, starts with new intents. Support may vary depending on your language, but our language leaders are working on hard to make sure be supported in your language. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think the intents are really great. You've got some more intents coming down the line here, but I really like the idea that they're starting to make voice more interactive. Setting the temperature on a thermostat. This is another great one. I have a heat pump in my home, and I did try this to get it to work, but I'm not sure if it actually needs a different element. So I've got the Panasonic heat pump system over here. So if we go in over here, this is what I'm heating and cooling my home with. And it didn't seem to work with that for some reason. I don't know. I'm assuming that if you've got a like a normal home heating or cooling system, it's another type of integration in Home Assistant. So yeah, mine didn't seem to be working, which is a shame. But anyway, wait and see what's going to go on with that. LLMs meet calendars. Without complex custom tooling, LLM-based conversation agents previously could not fetch events from your camera. This release changes. Out of the box, LLM agents can now retrieve today's and this week's events from any of your calendars. Don't forget to expose your calendars. Now, one of the things that I've had with updating my system is that unfortunately my LLM connection that I was using with Google Gemini for some reason or other is not working anymore. So I haven't been able to test out these new systems, but yeah, it's a great opportunity and I look forward, once I get it up and running, to be testing that again. All right, shared history between the default conversation agent and its LLM-based format. So in 2024.12, they allowed you to use fast and local default conversation agents for most queries, and yet be able to fall back to the much more powerful LLM agent for more complex. This introduced some interesting behaviors from a user perspective. It looked like you were talking to the same assistant, whereas in reality it was sharing between agents. This led to some less than optimal scenarios, such as this one. How can I assist? Turn on the bedroom lights, turned on, turn them back off. Please specify the devices. Yeah, so it doesn't remember the conversation between the Home Assistant answering it and the actual agent answering it. So now what they're doing is they're allowing the two agents to talk to each other. So for example, you can say, how can I assist? Turn on the bedroom lights, turn on the lights, turn them back off. Bedroom lights have been turned off. So it actually remembers, transfers that information between the two agents. All right, modal context protocol. This release adds the modal context protocol to Home Assistant, thanks to Alan. Modal concept, let's just have a look. MCP is an open protocol that's standard how applications provide context to LLMs. Think of MCP like a USB-C port for AI applications. Okay, yep, this is a little bit over the top of my head. Not sure if any of you guys know about modal context. Please let me know. It'd be great to know. I'm not too clued up on exactly what the modal context is all about. All right, let's have a look at some of the new integrations that they're bringing in. Okay, Homey, let's have a look. Homey is a smart home system able to integrate various protocols such as Z-Wave, Zigbee, InOcean, and more. Homey integration will allow you to use devices from Homey in Home Assistant. Okay, so Homey, it looks like, is another smart home system. Basically, they're integrating Home Assistant with Homey. So once again, I think this is really awesome. This is one of the great things about Home Assistant is that, for example, I run Apple HomeKit. In my home at the moment, I'm using the Apple HomeKit to communicate with things like my Matter over Thread smart blinds. I found that the Apple HomePod Mini works really well for that. Home Assistant, I was struggling to get working with the Thread communications. So yeah, I like the idea that they bring in more other systems, because the beauty about Home Assistant is that Home Assistant is working, but you can bring in these other systems at the same time. All right, so let's look what else. The next one is Igloo Home. Igloo Home integration grants Home Assistant access to paired smart devices Igloo. Prerequisites are that you own a Igloo home devices, and have paired them into account and have a subscription. Okay, so this is a cloud-based account. I'm not sure what an Igloo device is. Let's have a look. Igloo, smart access technology that works every time. Okay, so Igloo's got a range of deadbolts, key boxes, padlocks. Okay, so they're basically a locking system. Pretty interesting. Okay, so that's Igloo. Great to see that as another one. The next up one we've got is the, let's just see, we've got a chat here. Let us just see. James, Eufy needs a better integration. Love the cameras, but HA doesn't play well. Yeah, I've never tried Eufy, I must admit. At the moment, I've got a combination of Reolink cameras. I've got a lot of Reolink cameras. They integrate super well into Home Assistant. And then I've got a Ring as well. Ring, obviously, we're limited by the fact that you have to play the cloud. But yeah, Ring seems to also integrate pretty well into Home Assistant. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't tried Eufy, but yeah, that's a real pain that they're not integrating well into Home Assistant. Hopefully, they will listen. It seems like they're listening to all the feedback really well at the moment. So yeah, James, be good to see if they manage to get that improved. Okay, so let's have a look at this little let pot. Let pot integrations allows you to integrate your let pot hydroponic garden systems into Home Assistant. Let's have a look at what let pot is all about. All right, let pot. Oh, look at this. This looks pretty interesting. So it's this whole hydroponic growth system. Come on, what's going on here? Hydroponic, my computer is doing really funny things. Hopefully no viruses, but yeah, it's doing some real weird stuff. Okay, so the let pot looks like a super cool system. So it's basically a full hydroponic gardening system. Wow. I would actually really like to check this out. It looks fantastic. Growing your own veggies and things in your kitchen, and now controlling it via Home Assistant. So it looks like it's got this light, it's got the water in the bottom there, and basically it's allowing you to grow all sorts of things. $226. Okay, $100. That's not too bad. Wow, this LED pot looks pretty cool. Smart temperature and EC meter. Wow, this is a pretty awesome looking system. So there we go. It's got all these multicolored different lights. So you can offer different. It's got the self-watering. Yep, this looks great. I'm definitely going to look into one of these and find out a little bit more about LED pot. All right, so LED pot is a new one. The next one is Overseer. Okay, Overseer is a service that allows you to manage media requests and to integrate these requests with Plex, Radar, and Sonar. The Overseer integration allows you to integrate your Overseer instance. Let's see what Overseer is. All right, Overseer, request management and media discovery tool. Okay, so this is basically, it looks like it's some sort of a streaming system that works with Plex. Plex, of course, you should be able to integrate with Home Assistant. Okay, interesting. So that is pretty cool. Another new integration, Overseer. All right, Modal Context Protocol Server. All right, let's have a look at this one. An open protocol that standardized applications to provide context to LLMs. Modal Context Protocol Server enables us to use Home Assistant to provide context to MCP LLM local client applications. So let's go and have a look at Modal Context. All right, so this is general architecture. All right, so basically this is more to do with LLMs and voice. So it seems like there's a lot of changes obviously going on in this area at the moment, and pretty cool to see the changes there. Thank you everyone that's on the live stream. Great to have you with me today. Let me know if you've got any questions about your Home Assistant that I can perhaps ask, or someone that is on the stream with me today. And next week, we've got another live stream, and we're getting some other players involved. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully, less technical problems next week. All right. So let's go back and have a look at what else we've got. So we've got the Qbus. Let's see what Qbus is. Allows you to integrate Qbus control into Home Assistant. Qbus is a Belgian manufacturer of home automation systems. So let's check out what Qbus is. All right, we've got one chat message here. Robert, welcome, Robert. Robert from Washington, D.C., just watching while getting some work done. Fantastic. Isn't that what's awesome about YouTube? You can get your friends online, keep on working, and have a bit of a chat as well. What day it must be? Is it what Saturday evening for you there in Washington? Is it, Robert? Well, working hard even on a Saturday night. Okay. All right. So Qbus, let's have a look at what Qbus is. Building. Okay. So this looks like a building management system. Basically, Qbus seems to integrate various things. Central control. Okay, so this looks like a rural house requires adapter home assistant to make daily life easier. Okay, so this is another sort of home assistant platform or smart home platform that effectively Home Assistant is now brought in as a dedicated integration. Google Drive, this is really awesome. The integration with Google Drive now means that you can connect, if, for example, your credentials. Okay, this is how to set it up. And basically, this is the integration with Home Assistant, doing the backups, and then taking your backup and storing it on Google Drive. I've got mine going to Nabocasa at the moment. All right. Kronos says, Nand. Good morning, James. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. I hope you're enjoying the live stream this morning. It's been a little bit of an up and down. I've had some technical issues, but yeah, we're having a bit of a chat. We're having a look at some of the updates in 2025.2. And yeah, great to have you all on board with me this morning. Different time, I know. I will try and do it a bit later next time because I know the later times work for you guys. All right, OneDrive. Let's have a look at this. This integration allows you to OneDrive. Okay, so these are all the new backups that basically, so OneDrive, let's just have a look at that. It's another, okay, so this is, you've got Google Drive, and you've got OneDrive. So this is the Microsoft version of Google Drive. And yeah, this is really cool that Home Assistant is now offering these backups, and you can basically store them to wherever you would like, it seems. This release also has a new virtual integration. Virtual integrations are stubs that are handled by other integrations to help with discovery. The new ones are Daycore Quip Dream. So let's have a look at what Daycore Quip Dream is. Supports devices for Daycore Drip Dream in Home Assistant provided by the Motion Blinds integration. Okay, so Motion Blinds is obviously another supplier. So many of these suppliers coming in with smart blinds now. I've recently been trying some smart blinds, and they are just awesome. Unfortunately, they seem to be super expensive, especially for these ones where the motor is integrated into the blind. The one that I tested in my bedroom was about $500. So yeah, it's a big one. I think once you're in there, as long as they're long-term durable and they're working, I think they're great. But yeah, they are pretty expensive. All right, we've got another chat here. James is saying, I'm trying to get the Major League Baseball standings to appear on a dashboard. Any help? Ah, that's interesting. Major League. So I'm pretty sure you would be able to do it. You'd need to find an integration. So a while ago, I found a really cool integration for the Formula One stats. Don't know if anyone saw that video, but someone had written a integration that pulled up all the Formula One stats. It showed a picture of the track that they were racing on. It showed the standings, everything really cool. So it would be great, as you say, James, if there was some sort of integration that it would allow you to do that. I haven't actually tried it myself as yet. I haven't seen anything, but yeah, probably just a matter of Googling it. Let's see. Let's just put that in and see if we get anything. Let's just try this. Switch over to there. Let's go there and type that in, and Home Assistant. Let's see if anything comes up. I'm always amazed at what comes up when I do this little search. Score standings and sports standings and scores. Share your projects. Let's have a look over here. I've been creating a sports standings dashboard that uses ESP REST interfaces as well as several sensors to deliver a consolidated dashboard for Home Assistant. So there we go. There is a GitHub repository that is allowing you to get NHL, MBL. So yep, maybe worth having a look at this and see if you can get your baseball stats coming through on. So effectively what they're using, is this a scraper? No, it's actually a REST API that they're using to get this information. And so it looks like it is possible. There we go. As he hasn't created a dashboard as yet. Complete dashboard is, oh, there we go. Yeah, so it looks like it is possible to pull in sports information. Might be a little bit of work just to get it working with the specific one that you are looking for. Team Tracker works great for individual teams. Okay. So you're looking at actually standings across the whole, yeah, not sure. I haven't tried that, James. Team Tracker works great for individual teams. Super complicated, that one. Yeah, I know. I mean, personally, I'm not a YAML coder. I find pieces of YAML on the internet and I stick them in here and there and hope that they work. I've just actually tried, I've just got this little guy working. I don't know if you saw a while ago in a live stream, we were chatting about this. This is a yellow display that works. It's got an ESP32 on the back and it's got a really cool color display on the front. Now, awesome news is I managed to get this working with some YAML code. So yeah, that is something that I just found. All right. Can you explain what a REST API is? Okay, James, I will give you my absolute noob's explanation of REST APIs. I'm not a coder at all, but I will give you a little bit of an idea of what I understand about a REST API. So let's just go back here. So effectively what an API is an application protocol interface. Okay. So what it means is that the supplier of the information has created a platform where they are somehow streaming the data and allowing people to connect from other systems and interface and pull through that data. Now, when it comes to a REST API, let's just do a little bit of a search. What about REST API? And see what it says about that. Okay, so REST API, press the right button here. REST APIs communicate through HTTP requests to perform standard database functions like creating, reading, updating, and deleting records known as CRUD with a resource. For example, REST API would use a GET request to receive a record. Okay, so I think what they mean by that is that the REST, it means that you can actually make a push and then you can pull back the data that you're looking for. So that's what it sounds like to me. I'm not a programmer, but yeah. So that looks to me like what a REST API. It's some sort of interface between Home Assistant and the supplier of the information, and it's allowing you to pull that in through that REST API. I hope that's helped. As I say, I'm not much of an expert when it comes to coding. So yeah, I'm giving you a real newbie answer to that. All right. So I hope you do come right, James. Let me know if you do, please, and it'd be great to hear and see your sports Major League Baseball standings dashboard when you get it up and running. Okay, so getting back to smart, motion blinds. Yep, so this looks like a super high-end blind system. As I say, I've recently tested one. These, not the specific one, but a new smart blind, and it was just amazing. I have it in my bedroom, and it works super cool. Improvements to existing integrations. Let's see what we've got here. Support for Shelly Blue TRV. So that's great. Shelly's coming up with some super cool stuff. Not sure if you saw their presentations from CES this year. Just amazing stuff coming from Shelly. I'm hoping to get some more in soon and try them out. UseTech added support for HomeWizard plug-in battery. Let's see what HomeWizard is. HomeWizard platform. Okay, so this is an energy management system. We'll just accept the cookies there. Okay, so track your home's energy consumption. I love tracking my energy consumption. I must admit, I've got it up here. At the moment, you can see my total power. Just love being able to see when I'm using power. I don't have individual power monitoring. I've got one on my hot water cylinder, so I can see when that turns on and off. And I've got another one on my rest of my power. But yeah, power management is just super, super cool. I just love what you can do with it. All right. We've got another. James is saying thanks. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed my noob explanation of a REST API. Yep. As I say, really outside of my league, but I do try to help whenever I can. All right. So getting back to energy monitoring. Energy monitoring, as I say, fantastic. So great to see another energy modeling system that is available. All right. What have we got next? New support for humidifiers and numbers for VSync devices. Okay. VSync integration enables you to control smart switches and outlets connected to the VSync app. Okay. All right. So another type of integration. What is a VSync app? Devices must be connected before you can integrate them. Okay, so basically they've got fans, humidifiers, lights, numbers, sensors, and switches. Now, I'll tell you something interesting about a humidifier. Now, it's really hot here at the moment, and I don't have a air conditioner in my room. So I received a humidifier a while ago from SwitchBot. I'll show you the one. Humidifier. Just go in here. There we go. Evaporative humidification. Now, I received one of these from them a while ago, tested it out, worked awesome, but I didn't see any need for this in my humid climate here in Auckland. However, at the moment, what I'm doing, I'm running this device at night for cooling in my bedroom. Okay, so I've got the device next to my bed and I've made a little channel, so I'm pushing the air directly at me. And the way that this evaporation is working, the water's evaporating and it's really cooling my bedroom. Fantastic use that I have discovered. So yeah, that is a great thing. All right, we've got another message here. Nathan is saying he loves Shellys. He has over 50 of them in the house. Yeah, me too, Nathan. Ever since I got that first Shelly one, oh my goodness, it is just such a tiny little thing. It fits easily in behind the wall. Yeah, they are great. So Nathan, did you see the new releasing stuff that Shelly did at CES? They released some fantastic stuff. The Shelly wall display is one of the most popular devices that I have ever put on my channel. And Shelly has now gone and released a double-size wall display panel. Oh my goodness, this thing looks fantastic. So yeah, I will be trying that out soon and hopefully playing with it and getting it up and running, because to me, this is awesome. It's apparently the double one has got 2 relays in the back, so you can control 2 circuits. And I don't know if they've got them up on the, let's see if they've got the Shelly wall display, the new one up yet. Let's have a look. They launched them all at CES, but I'm not sure if they're available as yet. Let's just have a look. Your opinion matters. They're doing a survey. Products, yeah, I don't think they've got them in as yet. Products, smart lighting, smart switches and dimmers. Where is the wall display? It'll help probably if I just put in Shelly wall display. Let's see if they've got. Yeah, they've only got the existing one. That's another one, but that's the size of the display that they're putting on the Shelly. Just amazing. I am so excited to be looking at that. Anyway, I went on a little bit of another track based on talking about humidifiers and the fact that evaporative humidifiers can offer you cooling. All right. Okay. We've got another chat. James is saying, I'm starting to explore some Shelly devices. Wish I knew more. Oh my goodness. Shelly is just doing the coolest of cool stuff at the moment, James. When you say wish you knew more, are you concerned about the, actually wiring it into the wall? Because obviously that is a tricky one. You are playing with, in New Zealand, 220 volts. So you certainly don't want to be doing it unless you understand exactly what you're doing and you have some sort of electrical knowledge. Luckily in New Zealand, most of the Shelly devices are certified for use in New Zealand. And the fact that they can be used without, voiding your insurance policy is a great point. But yeah, I know there's a lot to learn. I've got some Shelly videos on my channel explaining how to set them up, talking a little bit. Shelly has done a lot. They've changed a lot on their interface at the moment, where they're allowing a much better way of actually engaging with them or connecting them, which is via Bluetooth now. So yeah, and now there's a new thing from Shelly where they've got LoRaWAN as well. LoRa will allow you to communicate over long distances with your Shelly devices. So super exciting to see what's coming of there. Nathan says, yes, did see them in CES and the LoRa ones look great. Yep, fantastic. All right, Jamie is saying, yes, I'm disabled. My hands don't work so well. So I'm going to have an electrician do it. Just not sure how it works. Okay, James. So that is amazing. I think home automation is just offering so much opportunity for all sorts of people in our community. So that's really exciting, James, that it'll be great. I'm sure your electrician will do an awesome job of wiring it in for you. The workings of it is not difficult at all. Literally, Shelly has got a full integration. So let's just have a look at my Shelly devices quickly, and I will show you what they look like. Demo, we'll go onto there. Okay. So if we go into settings, devices and services, and Shellys, there we go. I've got 6 Shellys at the moment. So Shellys are super easy. You literally, once they've been connected by the electrician, you just open up the Shelly app, and effectively you will be able to automatically bring it online to your home's Wi-Fi. Now, the new thing with the Shellys is they're going to be allowing you to do Zigbee as well, which is even more exciting. But once they're in here, so there's a Shelly one. You'll see literally you can switch your light on and off. You've got some other sensors. There's an input sensor there, which you could use that allows you to measure, for example, another circuit or a switch. Okay. And we've got some more entities. Okay, there's a firmware update and things. But yeah, Shellys are super simple. They're literally just a little relay. You can turn it on and off within Home Assistant. Now, there's some other Shellys as well. I've got the Shelly Unis. Shelly Uni is just amazing. It's basically got 2 switches. These are optocouplers, so you would need a relay if you wanted to control higher voltages or amperages. But they've got these inputs, so you can measure 2 different temperatures. I use this in my heat recovery ventilation, so I measure the incoming and the outgoing air temperature. You've also got 2 inputs that you can measure, and you've got an analog measurement of voltage as well. So that's a Shelly Uni. And then I've also got the Shelly wall display. So with the Shelly wall display, you'll see here it's measuring temperature. It's got an illuminance sensor, so you can see whether I've got the light on and off. So if we turn that on, let's just see, there we go. Yep, so you'll see, turned the light on in the kitchen and the illuminance went up. Also got a humidity sensor. What's disabled there? Okay, that's an input. So these are the devices on Shelly. They literally, you just connect them to your Wi-Fi with the app, and they will then show up in Home Assistant, and you just adapt them. So I hope that was helpful for you, James. Yeah, they're just super easy to use. I really have had absolute, they were a little bit difficult in the beginning to get connected, but with the new Bluetooth onboarding, it's just fantastic. I totally misunderstood what they were for. I thought Shelly was just for energy monitoring. No, way more. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look quickly at the Shelly devices. Let's just go into Shelly. All right, this is the Shelly website. So Shelly is, yes, they do offer power monitoring. They've got a great power monitoring solution, but they are way more than power monitoring. So if we have a look here at Shelly, they've got, so their famous thing is relays. So something you put behind your wall switch makes your lights smart. And the beauty about it is you can still use the light switch when you're doing it. Okay. So Shelly's, where Shelly 1 was a switch or relay. Shelly has now come out with all sorts of clever things. So they've got a dimmer. They've got controlling for your heating system. They've got door and window sensors. They've got all sorts of things. The app is really good now. The app has been improved fantastically over the years. That was always one of the problems with Shelly in the past, was the app wasn't great, but now it's fantastic. They've also got Shelly X is a new system that they've just brought out. I've ordered one of these Shelly X's. Hopefully it's going to come soon. This is a device that allows you to integrate dumb appliances into your home assistant. They've got versions with relays and all sorts of things. Yeah, Shelly is fantastic. They have so many new products now. They've got obviously the one, okay, so if we go to smart lighting, so Shelly has all these different versions. You'll see I've got some videos talking about some of the different Shellys, showing you how to integrate them. But yeah, Shelly is way more than just a energy management system. Okay. Nathan says, been experimenting with Shelly Bluetooth proxy room presence and Bermuda triangulation and auto changing dashboards. Whoa, that's pretty cool. That is fantastic, Nathan. How is that working for you? So a mate of mine actually tried the ES Presence at the moment. I think he's got like 30 ESP32s installed around his house, and he's busy playing with that. He said it's been quite challenging. He has got it working now. Apparently it's really like you really need to calibrate the sensors so that the measurements and things are right. Please let me know how that's going with the Bluetooth proxy room presence. That is fantastic. So what are you carrying around with you? Are you needing to carry, I'm assuming, one of those little Bluetooth dongles? Well, not dongles, but a Bluetooth signal device to actually, so the Bluetooth Shellys know where you are. That is really great to hear. I really like the idea. I saw someone's video the other day of walking into a room, I think it was Reed, and the dashboard automatically updates on your phone to the devices within that room. Oh man, that is next level. If you can get that working, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Bermuda triangulation. Wow, let me just put that in and see what that is all about. Let's go, yeah, Bermuda triangulation. There we go. Bluetooth BLE room presence and tracking. Wow. This looks amazing. So it's basically using those Shellys, checking where you are, and then creating a dashboard that is specific to the region that you're in. Wow. That is just amazing, Nathan. Yeah, fantastic. Johnny, now YouTube didn't notify me. Oh my goodness, really? That's crazy. I wonder why. That is very odd, Johnny. You're normally the first one that jumps on these streams, but then I am doing it super early this morning. So apologies to everyone. I must try and get myself in order and do the stream at the same time when I do them. I will try. Okay, Johnny. So welcome to the stream, Johnny. You're one of my all-time absolute faithfuls in joining me on a live stream. Tell us what's happening your side. Now, today, Johnny, we've been talking a little bit, just to recap slightly. I don't want to bore everyone else, but yeah, just to recap, we have been talking all about the 2025.2 beta release. So yeah, we're just going through some of the improvements. Okay, now available to set up from the user interface. While most integrations can be set up directly from Home Assistant user interface, some were only available using in YAML. So let's see what this NMBS is. Okay, so this is basically a train scheduling system for one or other city. I'm not sure which city, but yeah, that's great. Must be cool to have your train schedules being pushed up to you. All right. Also on your channel, don't work in a YouTube integration. That's very interesting. I wonder why that is, Johnny. So you mean the YouTube integration on Home Assistant? So it should pop up and advise you in Home Assistant, is it? That's very interesting. I must actually try this YouTube. Let's see if I can get the YouTube integration running on my system. Let's see devices and services, add integration, YouTube. Okay. Google integration. Okay, I assume that's it. YouTube. There we go. There's the YouTube integration. Oh, cool. I must try and set that up for myself because that would be really cool. I'm assuming that then goes and adds you in. I used to wait until it is available. Don't read the docs, just install. Then starts the swearing. Yeah, I know. That's totally me, Johnny. I always just hit the button and then I have all the damages later. I know. I've done so many updates and installed so many things and never read the manuals. The one thing that I did read the manual, I was really grateful that I did, was when I was setting up my 3D printer. Yeah, I was afraid that I would actually break something electromechanical on that device. So I did actually read the setup guide very carefully, and I'm glad that I did. Although, unfortunately, my 3D printer is now broken. The main board has burnt out, so don't know what's going on there. Hopefully that will get... sorry, Nathan. Just as you said, dashboard on the mobile updates depending on the room that you're in. Ears presence is good, but Bermuda gives all the details to Home Assistant. Fantastic. Yep, that is amazing, Nathan. I would love to try that. It sounds really cool. How long did that take you to set that all up? It sounds like quite a process, but yeah, is it reliable? Does it work really well? Yep, give us some feedback. Johnny says need the custom integration. Okay, so it's a hex integration, is it? Let's just have a look here. If we go to here, is it in hex? Go away. Let's get rid of that. Hex. My hex is not even working today. Everything, here we go, just a bit slow. So is this a hex? This one over here. So there's a music player and a platform. Let's see what the YouTube one is on the hex. This uses web scraping. A better implementation will be to use the API. Okay, so yeah, web scraping can be breaking changes, installation. Oh, pretty cool. I must hit download that and try this out, Johnny. But yeah, I wonder why it's not showing my ones when they come on live. That's very, very odd. Oh, sorry, the integration actually says you are live. Okay, cool. So that's good to hear that it's working. Neutral says, "Hi Johnny, I gave Simon a scolding. His streaming is interfering with my sauna evening." Oh no. Yeah, sorry guys. I am famous for messing up everyone's evenings. Yeah, change of time this morning. I've got something on, unfortunately, at my normal time, which is sort of 9 or 10 in the morning in New Zealand. I started this morning at 5 a.m. Can you believe I was up early? So, yeah, duly scolded. Johnny says he uses his fork. It supports a Johnny Bergdahl style channel names. The one in Hex doesn't. Okay, that sounds good. Oh my goodness, Johnny. You've got some amazing stuff that you're doing there. I would honestly recommend to anyone to go and have a look on Johnny's YouTube. He's got this amazing video of a system that is effectively 3D printing a circuit board. Man, the interest that you've got in that, Johnny, was crazy. Yeah, yeah. It sounds, I would love to try that. Oh, sauna, yeah, that is a problem. I wonder if anyone could get a screen with a mic or screen with a keyboard to work in their sauna. Now, that would be a real test for electronic components working in a sauna with all the moisture, the steam, the heat. Wow, that would be a fantastic thing to develop. A sauna-based YouTube viewing platform. I've got a guy that I could imagine would do it. He did a big outdoor TV. I don't know if any of you have seen it. He does amazing videos. I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, just fantastic. All right. What have we got next? Johnny, oh yeah, sauna. Did we get a new message? Oh, I can't see one. Okay, show and stream. I'm all over the place today. Have we got a new one? No, we haven't. Okay, let's go back to our updates. Okay. Other noteworthy changes. The front end is using a new graph library. You should not notice any big changes, but this will prepare us for bigger changes. Now, I wonder if this is these graphs over here. So when you select, for example, this, I wonder if this is the graphs that they're talking about, or if it's these graphs over here. I don't know if they look any different. Hard for me to say. This is my power monitoring. No idea. Yeah, but anyway, that's interesting. New graphs. Okay. Now this is an odd one. One of the things that happens to me is I see it pops up as a new comment, but for some reason or other it does not show. So yep, sorry if you have made a comment. The last comment I can see is Johnny's comment, but yeah, we'll get back. I'm sure it will pop up sooner or later. All right, so getting back to our beta release, let's have a look here. The Bluetooth integration got its own configuration panel where you can see information about your Bluetooth advertising like, let's have a look. Bluetooth integration, all right. Let's go and see. Press the button. Hope nothing goes wrong. Do you want to set up? No Bluetooth adapters found. Okay, interesting. So I'm currently running, there's my Bluetooth device. It's within Home Assistant. So I've just upgraded to a Raspberry Pi 5 because my Odroid for some reason went wrong. I'm going to have to try and get that up and running. I love the Odroid, but currently I'm running a Raspberry Pi 5 and it's got Bluetooth within it. So let's just see if we go down here and we configure. Advertising monitor. This could be it. Let's see. This is very interesting. Look at this. Man, we can basically see within this Bluetooth monitor, we can see all the different Bluetooth signals. So there's my Shelly 1 Mini PM, for example. Interesting. There's my Schlage lock at the front of my house. Just unbelievable, the number of Bluetooth signals. Okay, there's my leak detectors. So this is those are the SwitchBot devices. Yeah, just amazing. Really nice when they actually give you a name. Mocrio, those are little temperature sensors. Okay, so that's quite cool. And we've got the configuration options. You can click passive scanning. Let's see what that does. Connection slot allocations. Displays GAT connections. Okay. Over the top of my head. But anyway, yeah. So it's quite cool. Some new Bluetooth settings appearing within that integration. Okay. Very, very interesting. Fantastic to see sometimes all of this new stuff that is popping up. All right. So let's go back here and see what else we've got. Okay, need help, blah, blah, blah. Backward incompatibility. We do our best to avoid making changes to existing functionality that might impact your Home Assistant. Unfortunately, sometimes it's inevitable. Okay, so there's some changes to backward incompatibilities. EcoVAS, vacuum entity. Okay, so that's vacuum stuff. Home Connect. What else have we got here? Hydrology data. Okay. KNX. All right. Some changes to KNX. Litter robot. Has anyone tried a litter robot? I've got a cute little cat named Peggy. She's a rescue. And I'm really keen to try one of these litter robots out. They sound pretty cool. MQTT broker settings. Pent Air screen logic. And raw backward compatibility changes. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So that pretty much looks like it is for our update for today. 2025, just recapping, we had the changes to the backups. The backups basically, now they allow you to back up without encryption, which is really cool. The locations, you can actually go individually and you can select which ones are going to be encrypted or not. When you download them from Home Assistant, they will automatically unencrypt them, which is pretty cool. Automatically allow you to customize the time of your backups. Yes, so you can actually go now and you can change the time. Previously, it was limited to 4:45 a.m. All right. Let's see. Johnny is saying, found the problem. I had forgotten to add your channel to my HA live stream notification. Okay, there we go. Well, that's awesome, Johnny, that you've added me now, so you'll be getting your notifications. Well, somehow you always seem to manage to get on my streams, so you must have some other thing that's popping up and telling you. No, I'm really keen to integrate that. So yeah, lots of changes to backups, sort of fixing up things that obviously were perhaps issues, that people had found frustrating about the new backup system. They're bringing back the toggles. That's really cool. I like the idea of when you do a Home Assistant update, you can automatically do a backup before the update. Really cool idea. With the add-ons, that way you can keep a previous version of the add-on when you roll back here. They've updated the file names. They've improved the file names a bit, where now they're actually allowing you to have a file name so that you can find it and know what it is. So that's great. They've got allowing for new locations, so you can back up to Google Drive or to Microsoft OneDrive. That's really cool that they've added that in now. Personally, I'm backing up to Nabocasa, but yeah, Google Drive was always a great option. Also looks like some updates to voice. Sorry for guys that I'm repeating this, but there's some new people in the channel. So with voice, loving my new voice assistant hardware. This is a great device. I would seriously recommend anyone buys this. But I am getting another device as well. I'm getting one from Satellite One. That's going to be fantastic to try that out. I've recently just set up a vintage audio system, and I was thinking of streaming my audio from Music Assistant through this, which is one way I can do it. But I've also just downloaded Volumio, and I'm running Volumio through my old hi-fi system, and there's a great Volumio integration in Home Assistant, which is pretty cool. So yeah, they're saying that they've got this analog phone to message. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I think it's a little bit of sort of a gimmicky thing. I don't think I would use it personally. They've got the broadcast intent. You can now broadcast messages to other voice assistants like broadcast it's time for dinner, and it will send it out to your others. That's cool. That's always something that was available on things like Miss A. Sorry, about to trigger your things. So yeah, great to see that they are updating and changing things like that. Welcome to everyone that is on the live stream. Please feel free. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're doing with Home Assistant. Really great to chat. Awesome having you all on the live stream. The live stream has been talking about the 2025.2 update, but open to chat about anything. One of the things that I'm going to be doing on a video on soon, not sure, in one of my recent live streams, I was talking about this little guy. It's called the yellow display. Super cheap. I think this thing costs $11 US. Just unbelievable how cheap it is. Now, this little yellow display is basically got the ESP32. Is it the S3? Can't quite. No, I think it's just a standard ESP32. It's got that on the back. It's also got some other things on the back. It's got your obviously your boot and your reset button. It's got a slot for an SD card. I'm not sure what you'd use that for. It's got the supply there, USB-A. It's got a color LED, RGB LED. Then it's got all of these different breakout sort of connectors as well that you can connect to things. And it's got a really cool color touch screen on the front of this device. Now, I just recently got this going. I'll power it up quickly and just show you. Just give me a sec. We'll stick some power on here. All right, cheap yellow display. What is Johnny saying? Yep, cheap yellow display, CYD FPR for short. That is exactly the one. I'm playing with LVGL and ESP Home on a cheap yellow display this week. Wow, same thing, Johnny. Good timing. So I'm not a programmer, as I've explained many times, so I can't write YAML code, but I did find some YAML code for this device thanks to a guy called Tion in South Africa. He sent this to me, and I managed to get it all loaded up. So we'll just power this little guy up. There we go. So as you can see there, I've got his code running over here. And yeah, pretty cool. These things are crazy cheap. I think they $11 US. You can see touchscreen is pretty, sorry, reflecting the light. Yep, touchscreen works pretty cool. And it's displaying, he used this to display the information from his solar system. So you can see there, he's got his solar power coming in. He's got his grid power. He's got his lead, not sure what that is. And he's got his battery power. So yeah, pretty cool little display. Easy to use with ESP Home. Yeah, ESP Home to me is one of the most fantastic little things. If we go and have a look at this within my Home Assistant, let's go here, settings, automation, no, devices and services. If we go in here and we have a look, ESP Home, there it is, solar display. As you can see, I've got control over the backlight on the device, and I've got control over the LED over there. And we've got a little firmware thing that we can do over there. So yeah, not a huge amount of information or things that I'm allowed to do with this specific one, but yeah, it works really cool. It's displaying information. I haven't got it just currently displaying information from my system because I've literally just uploaded the code, but yeah, it is pretty cool. I struggle to get HA. Okay. David, it'll be great if you can give us a little bit more information about what you're struggling with. Obviously, HA is like a little bit of a next level from something like Apple HomeKit or Miss A or Google Home. But once you get started with it, David, it is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I've got some really good videos about getting started with Home Assistant. If that's what the issue is, you can either, if you want to, you can load it up on a Pi. I've got mine running on Raspberry Pi 5 at the moment. Or you can buy a preloaded device. You can get Home Assistant Green from Home Assistant. Apollo has a really cool, they've got something called the Apollo. It's an Odroid that's also preloaded with Home Assistant. Order it in, plug it in, and you set your system up. So it is getting a lot easier. So let us know what it is that you're struggling with, David. And there are lots of people out, lots of videos on YouTube, lots of ways of engaging. Okay. Making ESP home stuff is kind of painful though. Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying, Johnny. The display is a mission. Like you say, once you get it all loaded up, it looks amazing. But getting it, actually designing these things is, well, I haven't even tried. Let's put it that way, because I know it's outside my realm. But let's hope one day that ESP Home will actually get a visual, some sort of a visual editor that we can use to edit screen content. That's what I would really like. Next week, we're going to talk about the future of smart home. And I think that's one of the things that I'd like to see is an easy editor for graphics on a display. Because, if I could have something that I could pull, I could draw, with, and it'll just appear, that's what I would like. So let's hope ESP Home is listening. But ESP Home is amazing. Here is another ESP Home device that I ordered the other day. This is from Kinkani. So this is an ESP Home board. Okay. There's your ESP32. I've got ESP Home running on here. And inside here, we have 16 optocouplers. So you could link that up to relays. We also have 16 inputs. So we could use this, for example, as an alarm panel. If you've got an old alarm system in your house, you could literally just wire in all your inputs, your old PIRs and your door sensors, wire them in at the top there. It also allows you to install temperature, humidity sensors here. It's got a analog to digital converter, so you can put things like water. I did a water tank meter system. You can run those in here. This is a great little device, and I picked this up for literally about $25 US. They had a special on it on AliExpress, and I'm going to do a video on this. What I like about it is it's also got an Ethernet port, so you don't have to run it wireless. You can actually run it via Ethernet, so it can be a fully wired system if you like the idea of fully wired and avoiding issues with Wi-Fi devices. So these are the sort of things that are coming out for ESP Home, and they just mean that you can do amazing stuff with ESP Home. But I totally agree with you, Johnny. When it comes to programming graphical user interfaces, at the moment it is lacking. Not sure what we can do about that, but hopefully something will come online. Okay, David is saying, I struggle to get Tapo and Aquara cameras to appear in Home Assistant. Sometimes I get Aquara cameras to work through Apple integration, but it's hit and miss. Sorry, my first post was an accidentally pushed send. Oh, no problem, David. I do make lots of accidents on this side, so please don't apologize at all. Okay, so some cameras can be really difficult to integrate into Home Assistant. I'm loving the integration of Reolink at the moment. That's why I use a lot of Reolink cameras, because they're just so easy to integrate. They have so many different components that they integrate, stuff you can control. But I know a lot of cameras are difficult. Now, one of the things to look at when you're buying a camera that does not offer a direct Home Assistant integration is to use a RTSP stream or an NVIV stream. So if your when you're buying a camera, have a look on the specs of the camera and see whether it's offering RTPS or NVIV streaming. Because if you've got that streaming, then you will be able to integrate it quite easily using those components without a direct integration. So I hope that helps. I know sometimes the Apple integration stuff does help. I certainly am using Apple at the moment to integrate to my Matter over Thread smart blind, because I'm finding that there's a problem with the Matter over Thread in Home Assistant. It doesn't seem to work for my blind. All right, Johnny is saying, needs a mushroom card widget library on top of LVGL. Oh, yeah, man, that would be so cool. Mushroom cards are fantastic. Don't know if the rest of you guys have tried mushroom cards, but yep, they're a little hex integration that you can use these awesome, awesome cards, and that would be perfect. If that was available in ESP Home, that would be amazing. So on-air display behind you is manual, since you don't have a YouTube integration. Yeah, this little guy over here, as you can see, it's just a little just an LED. Yeah, I got it for $10 from Kmart. I thought it looked pretty cool, but no, it's not a integrated product. I do have quite a cool, I've got a couple of displays that are integrated, which you can do cool things on behind you. Yeah, I've got some really nice ones, but yeah, at the moment, that one is just a standard little LED strip that's been made into an on-air sign, but I quite like it. It's pretty cool. So, no. All right. So, talking about, yeah, ESP Home for me is fantastic, but yeah, something to control or something to create displays. It seems like displays are really, really popular at the moment. Shelly launched their new display at CES, and I think there's a lot of us that are hanging out to see that display. The Shelly display that I've got at the moment is this one. Which one is it? Shelly. Wall display. This one over here. This is what I'm using as a wall display at the moment. I've got that one. I'm also using the Sonoff one. Both of those are displaying Home Assistant as a web page. There are ways, I think, of integrating them directly, but it's just a bit of a pain and I haven't bothered. So these guys just display your display from your actual Home Assistant, whatever it's producing. So yeah, displays are really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing what will be coming in the future with displays. But yeah, certainly the little yellow, cheap yellow display is a great little thing, and I'm going to be playing with it some more, and I will be doing a video about it. So yeah, great. We've got some new people on the stream. Fantastic to all have you all here. We've had some technical issues, but it's going well now anyway. So what else do you guys want to discuss? I've got all sorts of things I'm always doing. I am recently just playing with the new Apollo. I don't know if you've seen the Temp 1. That's an Apollo temperature sensor. So it does things like measure the temperature of your steak as you're cooking, measure the temperature of your freezer. I see lots of people are playing with them. They're seeing the different graphs of as your freezer is switching on and off, you can actually see it. So yeah, Temp 1 is quite a cool little device, something new out there that I've just tested and played with. I've just created a video and released that yesterday onto my Home Assistant channel. Other things that I'm playing with at the moment, Volumio. I'm not sure. I saw when I launched my channel, my video about Music Assistant, there was a lot of interest in Music Assistant. And once you've got Music Assistant, let's just go, demo into Music Assistant. Music Assistant in Home Assistant is just great. At the moment, I'm bringing Music Assistant. Great, there's a chat. Let's just see who's chatting. Come on, show it to me. This is crazy. There we go. Johnny's saying, I got an NS panel mounted this week, not the Pro, so needed custom firmware. Interesting. The nice thing about NS panel is that it's got the relays. Just to show everyone that doesn't know what NS panel is, NS panel. I do have an NS panel, but I burnt my NS panel out when I was trying to update it. So here's the standard NS panel. All right. So this is the original NS panel, not the Pro version. So it's got the screen up there and it's got the 2 buttons at the bottom. So it's got 2 relays that you can control, which is really cool. It's also got a beautiful color screen, and this is a touchscreen. I think, yeah, it is a touchscreen. That's right. Links in with Miss A, Google. Yeah, it's a pretty cool device. So how did you find actually loading that up, Johnny? Did you find that it was easy to connect to flash it? Yes, it has the physical buttons. I do like the fact that they've integrated a smart screen with buttons. What would have been really nice is to have the NS Panel Pro with the buttons and the relays. Man, that would be awesome. Then you could have your panel streaming through your content from Home Assistant. You could have your relays at the back, and you could have your touch screen. That would be the best of both worlds. But unfortunately, at the moment, we've got 2 choices. We either go, okay, I'm using NS Panel Lovelace UI integration. Interesting. So the NS Panel now allows you to do a Lovelace UA. Wow, that is fantastic. When I had the NS Panel, unfortunately, it did not allow you. So the only way you could display Home Assistant was through flashing the device. At the time, I tried to flash it, and I bricked the ESP inside there. So that was a shame. Yes, kind of simple to flash if you have a serial adapter. I know. I had the serial adapter, but I soldered the pads, and I just overheated it with my old horrible soldering iron, which was a pain. But I now have a new soldering iron. Where's my soldering iron? I love my soldering iron. I've got one of these, the Pine-Sol. These are unbelievable. A USB powered, digitally controlled soldering iron. I love it. Okay. Johnny is saying, only issue with this integration is that you need to listen for MQTT message to detect button presses. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit frustrating, I'm sure. But my experiences with MQTT, I've had quite a lot of joy with MQTT. I was playing with it with another one of the Kinkani devices. And yeah, I do find that MQTT works pretty cool. But yeah, it can be a pain to set up sometimes. Well, it's not showing Home Assistant. You tell it what to display in an app daemon file. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the old way that it always used to work. Yeah, quite, as you say, pretty tricky to get set up. And yeah, very nice hardware, but it would be great if they had the NS Panel Pro software running so that you could actually display the Home Assistant screen as a URL like on the NS Panel Pro. Okay, interesting. So anyway, just going back to my, what were we talking about here? Oh, that was NS Panel, Music Assistant. Yeah. So Music Assistant is a cool system. Basically, Music Assistant has got, I'm pulling in at the moment, all these artists directly from Spotify. It's cool. It brings up the artist image and everything like this. Now, what I was doing is I've just set up a little vintage hi-fi system. I've got a tape deck, I've got a record player, I've got a CD player, and I've got a beautiful Technics Class A amp going into some B&W, I think the 603 speakers, 605 or something. So I wanted to be able to stream from there through into Home Assistant. Now, one option is to use this device for streaming. The beauty about this is it does have the little 6mm jack or whatever it is, so you can use that. But I wanted to try out this over here, Volumio. Don't know if any of you have tried Volumio. Volumio is a free, well, you can run a free version. There's a paid version as well. I'm just using the free version at the moment. It's a streaming software, a free streaming software that runs on the Raspberry Pi. I'm running a Raspberry Pi 4. I've got it loaded up. Now, the beauty about this is Home Assistant has got a Volumio integration. So if we go here, settings, devices and services, and we can see here that the Volumio device pulls in and allows us to use this as a player. So I can now set this up as a player within my music assistant, and now I can stream music directly from Home Assistant, Music Assistant to Volumio, and that will play out in my system. So pretty cool. There you can see, sorry, I didn't have it on. There you can see my Volumio is inside my Home Assistant, and I can control that directly from my Music Assistant. You can see over here, we've got Music Assistant. And if we go in here and we select our players, I've got the Home Assistant media players. You can see I've got the Voice Assistant, the Lounge Room, that's my TV, and the Volumio media player. So this is a really, really cool system. All right. So, we've got some comments here again. Let's have a look here. Johnny's saying also uses Tasmota, not ESP Home. Okay. Tasmota is also pretty cool, Johnny. I have played around a fair bit with Tasmota, and Tasmota is, yeah, it's an older system, but yeah, it also has its advantages. But yeah, I can see why you're saying it gets quite tricky. All right, Nathan is saying he has the NS Panel non-pro and works great. Needs flashing, but there's a great blueprint that auto-configures it in HA. Excellent, Nathan. That is great to hear. I've heard a lot about the old NS Panel, and I should actually get myself another NS Panel and give it another go. But yeah, I just haven't had the time up as yet. All right, what is Johnny saying? I tried the blueprint but found it too limiting, which is why I opted for this one instead. Yeah, blueprints, there's some really good blueprints out there, but as you say, being an expert like you are, Johnny, it's great that you are able to get that more powerful version installed so that you've got some really good integration with Home Assistant, and you're also able to do things like controlling those buttons, controlling the screen, and absolutely everything. David is saying, admittedly, I'm still new to HA, and along with camera discovery issues, been unable to get HA to recognize speakers, including Echo Studio. Yeah, unfortunately, Miss A or Echo is not going to work well with Home Assistant. You're saying unable to get HA to recognize speakers, including the Echo Studio. Yeah. I have found recently that I have given up with integrating Home Assistant with any of the Amazon Echo products. I did have it running a year or so ago. It was working awesome, but nowadays they're just getting so difficult. Things are changing all the time. Yep. Personally, I'm not even bothering. I've got one Echo that is sitting in my bathroom, and I use it to play music when I'm in the shower. But yeah, other than that, I've actually given up. So yeah, there are issues with integrating stuff, David. But one of the key things I'm finding with Home Assistant is before you buy or make a purchase, do a search Home Assistant and whatever the name of the product is in Google. And that will tell you immediately how much joy you're going to have integrating it, because there are some things like Echo Studio that is really difficult and yeah, really painful. But it is a great system. I've found lots of frustrations with Home Assistant over the years, but I've managed to get around most of them, and yeah, It is a great system. Once you get it up and running, yeah, you can have a lot of fun with it. Just install 2 of the next to the bed event gets the wife approval. Just install 2 of the next to bed. Just install 2. I can't even read. Just install 2 of the bed event gets the wife approval. Just to okay. Which ones are those that you've installed, Nathan? Is that the NS panels, or which have you installed there? What blueprint did you try, Johnny? I'm using the NS panel configuration by Blackie Mass. Let's have a look at that one quickly. NS panel configuration by Blackie Mass. Let's check that one out. Interesting to see that so many people are using NS panel. Wow, 2023, that came out quite a long time ago, didn't it? All right, NS panel custom with Home Assistant blueprint. No coding required, quick step. All right, so let's have a look at this one. Obviously got the 2 screen types. I'll be interested to get your feedback, guys. Which screen are you using? The square one or the 120? The oblong one like this. I had this one. It fits better with the New Zealand or light switch style. A lot of the new panels are coming out with the square one. Problem is you have to then do some plasterboard work to actually get it to fit nicely in your wall. So this looks pretty cool. You've got some screens that you're putting up there. So this looks like it's the standard background, and then you've got some additional icons appearing there. Wow, this is pretty cool. Up to 8 buttons per page across 4 different pages, totaling 32 buttons. Entities page, he's got power monitoring here. Light setting page, we've got color and brightness. This looks really cool, I must admit. I'm almost tempted to get another one of these and give it another go, because this looks pretty fantastic. All explained. Oh, look at that. So configuration. Oh, wow. So you can actually configure it from within ESP Home. I do like this. Yep. This is very, very nice. So I'm assuming you still have to open up and stick your little pins in there to get this to happen. But yeah, that looks pretty awesome, I must admit. All right. Let's just increase that to 20 seconds. David says, so gave up on Echo in HA. Got it. It's too bad because I've paired 2 studios and a subwoofer. They sound awesome as long as I run them through Echo 10. Thanks for the advice. Look, David, I know other people that are still using Echo and they're still loving it and it's working fine for them. I just got fed up with, just the changes of the interfaces and that, with Amazon. It's a big corporate and it's all cloud-based, and basically they are doing what they please. So, yeah, what I do like about the Echoes, especially the small ones, they've got the jack plug in the back. So very, very easy to connect them up to external speakers. Yeah, they definitely have their benefits, David. But yeah, I just got frustrated, so frustrated with them. And now that we have this little guy out, honestly, I am so impressed with this device. I think the Home Assistant team has done such a good job of bringing this to market. And I think that over time, they're going to be doing a lot of changing to the software and lots of improvements that are going to allow this device to become sort of the ultimate smart home voice assistant. So yeah, they've made lots of changes in this update, and there's lots of changes too. And yes, I know it's an investment in a new platform, but now that you're investing in an open source platform, which no one is going to go and change everything and shut you out of. So yeah, that's just my feeling on Amazon and the Echo system. Spent some money on it, but yeah, just decided to move on. Right. Nathan is saying, I use Square EU NS Panel Pro. I'm in the UK, so it fits the UK boxes. Okay, that's awesome. If it's working for you, that is fantastic. Yeah, as I say, I do like that NS panel because it's got the two buttons, but I also love my Shelly wall display panel. It is honestly one of the favorite devices that I'm using at the moment. It looks like there's a lot of interest at the moment. Unfortunately, it doesn't offer the 120 volt version for the US. But I see that Shelly at CES did say that they are going to bring that to market soon for you guys in the US. It'd be great to see what you think. For us using 220 volts, you've obviously got the options of either the Shelly or the Sonoff. Now, Sonoff is bringing great stuff to the market, I must admit. I remember the first Sonoff device I played with, man, it just basic little relay, but when it came out, it was just fantastic. And now the things that Sonoff is releasing, just simply so awesome. And they're continually upgrading the software, but it would be great to pair that with the physical buttons at the bottom and the two relays in the back. So let's see. I'm sure they're listening to us. So let's hope that they come online. All right. Now, I've been going for, quite a while now. So anything else that you guys would like to chat about? I'm sort of running out of things to offer up. And my voice is getting a little bit towards the end of its chatting ability. So, yeah, unless there's anything else that you guys would really like to chat about, please feel free. I'll give you a couple more minutes. Pop something in the chat there. We can chat about it. Otherwise, if there's nothing, I'll probably be signing off this broken live stream. But I'm glad that it's really worked out in the end. We've had some great communications once again about different things in Home Assistant. We've talked a little bit about the Home Assistant upgrade. And yeah, it's been fantastic, as always, having you guys online with me. Let's see what David is saying. I agree about the Echoes. Echo 10 was my first major smart home purchase. Pretty much only use it for audiobooks and music. Since starting HA, I'm integrating as much as I can into it. Echo 10, wow, that is the big one, isn't it? Let's just check here. It is the big. I've got an Echo Show 5. Oh yeah, that was quite a cool device, I must say. Pretty expensive, but yeah, fantastic screen it's got there, isn't it? Really, really cool. I see they've launched the Amazon Echo Hub now as well. Yeah, it was an awesome device, and I'm sure at the time, yeah, it must have just been fantastic. All the stuff. I mean, let's face it, especially when you're starting with home automation, the Echo channel platform is pretty cool. Easy to use. Stuff automatically gets picked up on your network and allows you to do a lot of things. But yeah, the frustration now is just with all the changes to the system, and it's not really allowing us much in the way of control anymore. So yeah, honestly, one of these guys and some of the displays that we've been talking about, I think are the way to go with Home Assistant the way it is now. Robert is saying, thank you for being so kind in welcoming not enough in this world. Fantastic, Robert. I'm all over that. Let's be kind to people. Yeah, that's something our world, unfortunately, is throwing up all sorts of things. I won't get into that, but yeah, I think kindness is fantastic. Nathan is saying, one for next time, but Aquara has a few good devices coming out, and one from CES, the third Reality Matter keyboard. Yes, I just saw a Matter keyboard video. Look pretty cool, so that's great. Good news about Aquara. They are just in the way of sending me some devices at the moment. I'm starting off with some of the existing devices before I get into the new ones, because I really like Aquara and I haven't tested much of their stuff. So I've got the Aquara video doorbell on the way. I've got the FP2, which is something that I've always wanting to be trying. Everyone is raving about it, and I really want to try that out. And I've got the M3 hub coming from Aquara. So that's going to be great to get into that whole Aquara network, and it'll be awesome to see. Johnny's saying, I've got some Google Minis, not that good sound though. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the sound, yeah. So that's one thing that this is unfortunately lacking a bit of sound quality. You're obviously not going to get sound like what you would get out of a Google or an Amazon system. But then again, you've got your little plug over there, plug it into a smart speaker. I plugged mine into a beautiful smart speaker I've got the Klipsch One smart speaker. Oh my goodness, that gives fantastic sound. So you add this to that and you've got absolutely perfect sound. Anyway, guys, it has been a fantastic time live streaming with you, as always, discussing some of the new features of 2025. And yeah, I look forward to chatting next week. Hopefully, we'll be getting some other players on board with me next week. We did set up a live stream a long time ago with all sorts of people. We've got the guys from Apollo that are hopefully going to join us. We've got some of the other YouTubers that are going to be joining us. So yeah, if there's no issues with my technical setup, because streaming, man, can be challenging, we will hopefully get that running next week, and it's going to be at a good time for you guys. I can't remember the exact time. I will be putting I'm putting up a live stream in advance. I'll be setting that up this week, telling everyone about the live stream next week, getting everyone involved. We're going to have multiple people on board at that time. So it's going to be super, super cool. So yeah, look forward to chatting you all next week. Hopefully you can make it, and it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's all. I'm signing out now. Bye then.